Hello guys, I'm hoping you're doing pretty good. I'm gonna go over area models. So hopefully you remember um, that area model consists of rows and columns. And I know we didn't do it a lot in third grade, but I know definitely next year you start seeing it more in the testing for fourth grade start. So again, it's called area models. It's a different way of multiplication, pretty much using area. So I'm gonna keep those notes. I'm gonna use the template. It might be a little bit different depending on what people use, but this is something I consider like, okay, it could be useful. I'm gonna lock it. So pretty much, if you remember partial products, it's the same thing. If you don't like partial products and you don't like area models, you can always stick with the old traditional one. So I'm gonna start something simple. Let's say 17. Oh, excuse me about that. 17 times 5. So right now I'm going to start with the one that has 2 digits, so that will be 17. So 17 is split into a value of 10 and 7. So it looks like partial products, right? And then on the other side, I'm going to multiply it times 5. So pretty much what this one is telling me, I'm going to find the area of this room. And then the other one, I'm going to find the area of this room. In reality, 7 needs to be around here because 7 is shorter. And this part is not even 10. So remember, it's not a perfect template, but I'll try to use my own later. So 10 times 5 is 50. And 5 times 7 is 35. You see why I needed to be smaller? And then when you sum the two area models, because they're area, it's going to be 85. And I'm done. So 17 times 5 equals 85. Okay. I'm gonna go over another one. Hopefully, if it makes sense. Sorry about that. Delete this, and I'm just gonna delete. If you didn't like that one because of the measurement, like me, you don't have to use it. But let's say I'm using a little bit something that makes more sense and more stimulus. So let's say I'm using 25 times 5. So it could look a little bit adequate. I still have 20. I still have 5, because that's the partial products, right? Then I'm still multiplying times 5. So I'm going to stick with this part first. 5 times 5, it's going to be like so. Okay, it has to be a first per square. This is 5, right? 5 times 5 is 25. So I'm already know I'm going to have to add 25. And if I look over here, it's 20 times 5. Going to have to be a little bit longer, actually. Now I have 1 0, and then 2 times 5, because 5 bills of 20 or 5 $20 bills is 100. So then if I add those two partial products, but in reality their area models, is 125. But let's say you don't like the area model like this and you rather draw it, so you can use something like that. So now I don't have to use that template. Template is kind of confusing. And remember, you're not gonna have the template yourself. Template is gonna go later to another place, right? So I'm gonna unlock it, and I'm gonna get rid of it. Once it's gotten rid of it, you can see how it's gonna change. Okay, so final one, just in case. I'm doing 23 times 7. Okay. So now 20 is twice as long as 10. So I have about 20, right, in the length. So this is 20. And this is about 3, because they're so short. Then I'm going to do times 7. So I can do it this way or that way, it doesn't matter. So 7 is going to be about this measurement, right? Probably a little bit shorter. Remember, it doesn't have to be exact. Here. If that's 3, that looks like 7, and 20 is twice as very long. So this is 7. So I'm going to stick with the area model of this little room. It could be like a little closet. So 3 times 7 is 21. And this large room over here, because it's spacious and long and thin, has a shorter width but a very long length. 20 times 7, here we call, well, I have 7 20s. That could be 140. And that's up to you how you want to multiply, because I still remember partial products. Double 2, double 7, 14, and then 14 times is 140. but you still need to find the total measurement between those two rooms. So that's why you still add 140, because that was this whole area. See why it's called area model? And the whole area of this room is 21. So I'm still gonna add 140 plus 21, which equals the product, or the sum, of 161. So the product of 23 and 7 is 161. If you're still confused about this strategy of area model, don't worry. If you see it, just hopefully you know how to represent it or how to read the models. Keep in mind that next year you might see it like 2 digits times 2 digits. So I could put a little bit of those later on. Don't feel stressed. If you don't like multiplying like that, you can always choose the strategy that makes you happy. Okay, hopefully it made some sense. Thanks.